Foundations. Foundations. Foundations is the lowest part of the building or the civil structure that is in direct contact with the soil which transfers load from the structure to the soil safely. Generally, the foundation can be classified into two, namely shallow foundation and deep foundation. Functions of foundation. Following are the main functions of foundation. First, to transmit and distribute the total load of the structure to a larger area of underlying support. Second, to prevent differential settlement of the structure. Third, to provide stability to the structure. Types of foundations and their uses. First, shallow foundation. There are four types of shallow foundations. 1. Individual footing or isolated footing. Second, combined footing. Third, strip footing. Fourth, raft or mat footing. Second foundation, deep foundation. There are two types of deep foundation. First, pile foundation. Second, drill staff or caissons. Shallow foundation. A shallow foundation is a type of building foundation that transfers structural load to the earth very near to the surface rather than to a subsurface layer or a range of depths as does a deep foundation. A shallow foundation is considered as such when the width of the entire foundation is greater than its depth. Types of shallow foundation. 1. Individual footing or isolated footing. Individual footing or an isolated footing is the most common type of foundation used for building construction. This foundation is constructed for a single column and also called a pad foundation. The shape of the individual footing is a square or rectangle and is used when loads from the structure is carried by the columns. Size is calculated based on the load on the column and the safe bearing capacity of the soil. Second, wall footing or strip footing. This type of footing is used to distribute loads of structural load bearing walls to the ground. Wall foundation runs along the direction of the wall. The width of the wall foundation is generally 2-3 times of the width of the wall. Second, combined footing. Combined footing is constructed when two or more columns are close enough and their isolated footing overlap each other. It is a combination of isolated footing, but their structural design differ. The shape of this footing is a rectangle and is used when loads from the structure is carried by the column. Third, spread footing or strip footing. Spread footing or strip footing and wall footing. Spread footing are those whose base is wider than a typical load-bearing wall footing. The wider base of this footing type spreads the weight from the building structure over more area and provides better stability. This should not be used on soils where there is any possibility of a ground flow of water above bearing layer of soil, which may result in score or liquefaction. Fourth, raft or mat footing. Raft or mat footing. Raft or mat footings are the types of footing which are spread across the entire area of the building to support heavy structural loads from columns and walls. It is suitable for expensive soils whose bearing capacity is less for the stability of spread footings and wall footing. Raft foundation is economical when one half area of the structure is covered with individual footing and wall footing are provided. This foundation should not be used where the groundwater table is above the bearing surface of the soil. The use of foundation in such condition may lead to score of liquefaction. Deep foundation. A deep foundation is a type of foundation which is placed at a greater depth below the ground surface and transfers structural loads to the earth at depth. The to width ratio of such a foundation is usually greater than 4 to 5. The construction process of a deep foundation is more complex and more expensive than shallow foundation. However, when dealing with poor soil conditions at shallow depth, large design loads and site constraints, a deep foundation is likely to be optimum solution. Types of deep foundation. 1. Pile foundation. Pile foundation is a type of deep foundation which is used to transfer heavy loads from the structure to the hard rock strata much deep below the ground level. Pile foundation are used to transfer heavy loads of structures through columns to hard soil strata, which is much below ground level, where shallow foundations such as spread footings and mat footings cannot be used. Second, drill shafts or caisson foundation. Drill shafts or caisson foundation. Drill shafts, also called as caissons, is a type of deep foundation and has an action similar to pile foundation discussed above, but are high capacity cast in situ foundation. It resists loads from structure through shaft resistance, toe resistance, and or combination of both of these. The construction of drill shafts or caissons are done using an